So question number 18, this is the section C question, very important one. Now first thing before solving these questions is you need to have a working note. 2 working notes irrespective of the question is important, okay? Especially for section C, calculation of plans and calculation of equity shares is a must. If you are going correct in solving or in noting down the working note properly, your income statement is going to be a cakewalk. Okay, now please pay attention and understand the working of the details of the question. Let's look at what's given first. Working note number 1. The company has an existing equity share capital. How much? 15 lakh rupees. How many equity shares? 15,000 equity shares, each of rupees 100. So 15,000 into 100 is 15 lakh rupees. So this is the existing capital. Now company, in order to expand or in order to diversify their business, they need an extra capital. They need an extra capital of rupees 25 lakh rupees. In front of them, they have 3 different plans, plan 1, 2 and 3. In order for them to decide which plan is the best, which has to maximize their earnings per share, EPS. Let's look at each plan. What is the plan number 1 is? Again, they want to raise equity share capital at rupees 100. Remember, each plan must sum up to your rupees 25 lakh. So 25,000 multiplied by 100 will come back to 25 lakh. Plan 2 is 8% 25,000 debentures at rupees 100. So first plan is completely equity, second plan is completely debenture. They want to raise 25 lakh rupees only through debentures. So 8% 25,000 debentures. Now whenever we are paying debentures, remember we need to pay interest to them. So it's better to first calculate how much interest we are liable to pay if we raise our needed capital through debenture. So 8% on 25 lakh rupees, not 25,000. It is just the number of debentures, not the debenture capital. How do I get debenture capital? 25,000 into 100 again comes back to 25 lakh rupees. So 8% on 25 lakh rupees will arrive at interest 2 lakh rupees. Your plan 3 is 8% 25,000 preference share capital at rupees 100. Now here third plan is completely preference share. If it is preference share, I need to pay them dividend and a fixed dividend. It is fixed at rupees 8%. So 8% preference dividend on rupees 25 lakh. 25,000 multiplied by 100, I'll come back again to the needed capital 25 lakh rupees. So I need to calculate how much dividend will I be liable to pay in the future. So 8% on 25 lakh rupees. The preference dividend paid is 2 lakh rupees. Hope you've understood. Company's existing capital is 15 lakh rupees. It wants an extra 25 lakh rupees. In front of it has 3 plans. Plan 1, raise 25 lakh by complete equity. Plan 2, complete debenture with an interest payment annually of rupees 2 lakh. Third plan is completely preference share where the preference dividend to be paid is rupees 2 lakh. Let's look at the working note number 2. Calculation of equity shares. This is a very prominent calculation in terms when you're calculating EPS at the end of income statement. Again, you need to calculate it for all the 3 given plans, plan 1, 2 and 3. What is the formula for calculating equity shares is old shares plus the new shares. What do you mean by old shares? That means the existing shares already existing in the company. That I'm going to term it as old. What is the new shares? The new capital that you're raising, plan 1, 2 and 3. So number of equity shares is equal to old shares plus new shares. So plan 1, old shares is how much here? 15,000. Read the first line of the question, 15,000 equity shares. So I'm going to write it as it is. What is the new shares under plan 1? Not generally, look at only plan number 1. Plan number 1, here can you see 25,000 equity shares. I'm going to add that here. So 15K plus 25K is going to give you 40,000 equity shares under which plan? Plan number 1. Plan 2, again old plus new. So the old is not going to change, still 15,000 equity shares. Under the new plan it is 0. Please note this point. We are calculating what? Equity shares and not number of debentures. Please don't be quick to write 25,000 here. I am only talking about new equity shares. So under plan 2 it's completely debenture, no equity. Therefore the value is 0. So old will remain as it is. So under plan 2 the total number of equity shares are 15,000. Got it? Plan 3. Plan 3 is completely preference. Again old is 15,000 equity shares given in the question, and my new shares are nil or 0. Why? Because even in the third plan, what am I raising? Only preference shares. Don't make a mistake. It is shares, preference shares, equity shares, and then club it and write. It's a mistake. Preference shares are different from equity shares. I am only calculating equity and not preference. So am I raising equity here? No. I am only raising preference. So it's going to be nil or 0. So total number of equity shares under plan 3 is 15,000 equity shares. Hope you have understood. Calculation of equity shares, working note 2. Plan 1 40,000, plan 2 15,000, plan 3 is again 15,000 equity shares. If you have understood the basic working note, the solving of income statement is very easy. Okay, so please take a look at it and please go through the existing capital, the needed capital, and the calculation of equity shares. So since we have completed the working note of question number 18, we found out different plans, right? Plan 1 was complete equity, plan 2 was complete debenture, and plan 3 was complete preference share. We found out what is the interest paid under plan 2 was rupees 2 lakh, and under plan 3 the preference dividend paid was rupees 2 lakh. And the number of equity shares under working capital 2, we found out plan 1 it was 40 shares, plan 2 was 15 shares, 15,000 shares, and plan 3 was 15,000 shares. It's 40,000, 15,000 and 15,000. Okay. Now let's begin the question starting from income statement after the working note. So if the working notes are perfect, you just have to, it's very simple to carry forward your income statement. So the question talks about EBIT rupees 8 lakh given in the question. 8 lakh given in the question. So for all the plans, EBIT is going to remain the same. Next, we are going to deduct interest on debenture. So we are only talking, remember, we are only talking about the plans. Under plan 1, do we have debenture? No. Under plan 1, we are issuing entire equity on no debenture, completely equity. Under plan 2, do we have debenture? Yes. Plan 2 itself is to raise the extra needed capital through the issue of debenture. Therefore, plan 1 we do not have debenture. Plan 2, what is the interest of debenture we found out? Rupees 2 lakh. Plan 3, what was it? Complete preference share. There is no debenture. If there is no debenture, there is no interest on debenture. So therefore it is nil. Okay. So we deduct EBIT, deducted interest on debenture. We arrive at earnings before tax 8 lakh, 8 minus 2 6 lakh and 8 lakh. Got it? Next, tax. The question says consider tax as 50%. So 8 lakh is half of that is 4 lakh, half of 3 lakh is 6 lakh is 3 lakh, half of 8 lakh is 4 lakh. So the balance carry forward earnings after taxes 4 lakh, 3 lakh and 4 lakh. And then we have preference dividend. So question number 1 does not have any kind of preference. It is only raised through equity. And plan number 2, it is completely debenture and there is no preference in it. Only plan 3 we are raising capital by preference share capital, and therefore only under plan 3 we will have preference dividend. So plan 1 is nil, plan 2 is nil, plan 3 is 2 lakh. So when we are deducting, we have earnings available to equity shareholders under plan 1 4 lakh, under plan 2 3 lakh, and under plan 3 is 2 lakh. So these are the earnings which are available to equity shareholders. Now number of equity shares was your working note number 2. How many did we have? 40,000 equity shares under plan 1. Under plan 2 we had 15,000 equity shares. Under plan 3 we had 15,000 equity shares. So here I am only talking about equity shares, not the amount. Looking at the working note number 2. Now question asks us to find out what is the earnings per share. So per head, each equity shareholder, how much dividend will he earn? The formula for EPS is earnings available to equity shareholders divided by number of equity shares. Number of earnings available to equity shareholders, we have found out 4 lakh, 3 lakh and 2 lakh. Number of equity shares 40,000, 15,000, 15,000. So basically we are going to divide these respective values. So once we divide this, we are going to get rupees 10, second plan rupees 20 and third plan rupees 13.33. So these are the earnings per share under each of this plan. So question also asks us to find out, we need 25 lakhs as our additional capital. We have considered these 3 plans. Now based on this income statement calculation, depending upon what is the EPS, which plan should we fix on? So as we look at the answers, which plan do you think is giving us the maximum EPS? Is it plan 1, 2 or 3? Maximum is rupees 20, correct? So 20 means plan 2. So plan 2 is the best plan for the company to raise its additional capital. So after completing this income statement, you start with 2 working notes, income statement, and then you need to add a conclusion. As plan 2 gives the maximum EPS, company is suggested to raise its additional capital or required capital according to plan B or plan 2, because existing is what? Equity, and plan 2 is about debenture. So as we discussed about the capital structure in the theory part when we discussed, right, which is the optimum capital structure, or how do you decide a optimum capital structure? It all depends a proper proportion of debenture and a proper proportion of equity. So a balance of equity and debt will always give you the maximum benefit. We always talked about how are the owners getting benefited out of all these business plans, right? At the end of the day, owners have to get the maximum benefit out of the financial plans. So here EPS is maximum only under plan 2, that is 20 rupees under plan 2. So therefore company has to raise its additional capital through plan 2. Hope you understood the question number 18. So moving on to the next question, question number 20. The question is given us the details of 2 companies, P Limited and Q Limited. Now they have existing capital debentures, they have equity share capital, they have a return on capital employed and EBIT. So EBIT is given directly in the question, 1 lakh for both the companies, and calculate EPS assuming the tax rate to be 50%. So what we need for this income statement or to find out EPS, we need interest on debenture, we need any kind of preference dividend paid, and the number of equity shares. These are the required calculations we need. Return on capital employed is not required thus far for this question, question number 20. Okay, let's start solving. Now here income statement particulars, P Limited and Q Limited, as the question starts with EBIT, both the companies have same level of EBIT, 1 lakh each. So 1 lakh and 1 lakh. And next we have interest on debenture. P Limited does not have any debentures, only Q Limited has. It has 25 lakh rupees. Sorry, cut it. So moving to the solution, income statement of 20th problem, particulars P Limited and Q Limited. EBIT is given in the question, 1 lakh for both the companies. Now interest on debenture, P Limited, if you look at the question table, it's not given, it's empty. So P Limited does not have debenture capital itself. So therefore they won't be paying any kind of interest on debenture. Whereas for Q Limited, company has 2,50,000 9% debenture. So we need to find out what is 9% on 2,50,000. That comes up to 22,500 rupees. So once we move from EBIT, deduct interest on debenture, we arrive at earnings before tax. So it is 1 lakh and then it is after deduction 77,500 rupees. Moving on, tax, assume it as 50%. The last sentence after the table says assuming tax as 50%. So half of 1,50,000, half of 75,500 is 38,750 rupees. Once you deduct that, you arrive at earnings after tax, EAT, 50,000, 38,750. Next we have preference dividend. Both the companies, company P and company Q does not have preference. So either you can eliminate this step. After tax, you can directly arrive at earnings available to equity shareholders, or if you're getting confused, just go on with the format of the income statement, but then write just as dash or just put a hyphen over there. Carry forward to earnings available to equity shareholders, 50,000 for P Limited and 38,750 for Q Limited. Now we need to write a working note here. Calculation of number of equity shareholders. It is better if you can write the complete working note before you start your income statement. Now how do I calculate number of equity shares? Number of equity shares equals to equity share capital, ESC means equity share capital, divided by what is the price per share. If you look at that bracket, right, equity share capital, in the bracket 10 rupees per share. Okay, so I have written here. So for P Limited, it has 5 lakh equity share capital divided by rupees 10. We arrive at 50,000 equity shares. It's not the amount, number of equity shareholders under P Limited. Same thing under Q Limited, capital divided by price per share. Both the companies' price per share is rupees 10. Keeping that as constant, capital is 2,50,000 divided by rupees 10. We arrive at 25,000 equity shares for Q Limited company. So, last part of the question is to find out the earnings per share. So, what is the number of equity shares as we have found out? 50,000 equity shares and 25,000 equity shares. So once you divide this, you arrive at EPS rupees 1, and once you divide this, you arrive at rupees 1.5. So these are the earnings per share of P Limited company and Q Limited company.